I was over it at this point. I'm like, yo, this is so unprofessional. Welcome back to my channel. As you can see, my hair is in my favorite passion twist. Y'all, if y'all want a tutorial on this, let me know down below. I will make a tutorial on how to do these because they're my go-to. They look good on me. They're just a good protective style. I don't like to do my own hair. I just like to get it out the way, either a wig with braids underneath or this or something, honey. That's for the birds. Okay, so y'all, I'm gonna just dive into it. I'm not gonna talk too much. It's gonna be a very detailed video or whatever. But yeah, today's video we're gonna be talking about my breast augmentation experience. If you don't know, I had my boobs done 2 weeks ago, February 22nd, so 2 weeks ago-ish. Yeah, 2 weeks ago I went to Miami to get my boobs done, but I'm gonna get into details of my whole experience. But do my makeup, chit chat a little bit with you guys, catch up on everything, tell you guys my experience, if I like my results, the pain, all that. So let's get into the video. Well, before I start, I'm gonna start a little bit on my face, so that way I just don't be talking, because when I get to talking, honey, my face could be halfway done, and So I'm gonna do a sped up of me doing my makeup, and then I'm gonna come to a stopping point and then start talking. Alright, so before I talk about my experience, my opinion in this video is my opinion. And I'm not trying to any way or form trying to discredit the place or recommend the place, because it's up to you to do your own research. It's up to you to find who you feel comfortable with. And it's up to you to look up reviews and form your own opinions about places and stuff like that. So I'm not trying to encourage anybody to go to this place. I'm not trying to discourage anybody from going to this place. This is my experience. So if you validate my experience, that's up to you. That's up to your own discretion. But I'm not trying to discredit anything like that. So now that that's done, let's get into more details. Okay, so back in October, I wanted to go get, well, back in October, I told myself, like, yo, if I want my boobs done, I have to get out here and grind, or whatever. So I scheduled my consultation, got a second job, and put my down payment to confirm my appointment. So So I did that, whatever. And the communication at first, like making payments wise and like answering my questions, everything was peaches and cream. Like I promise you, it was peaches and cream. It was very informative. She sent me pictures of what her friend had got done by the same doctor that she recommended. Well, the person I was my consultant. That's the word. My consultant. She was very informative about. That doctor was like the best doctor to get your boobs done by, blah, 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 blah. So she like basically, and I got recommendation from my friend too. She's the reason why I went to this place to get my boobs done because hers look amazing. So I was like, why not? So, okay. It wasn't until after I paid off everything that I feel like everything took a spin. And like I said, I should have known from jump. Because like once you sign, they have a contract you sign. Once you sign the contract, they have these different refund policy things and stuff like that. So I don't know. Just make sure you guys read your contract. Make sure you read details and everything. Like I did, don't get me wrong, but it's just that the consultant that I was consulting with or in contact with was trash after I made my final payment. Like she was not attentive. She was not answering any of my text messages or anything like that. Or anything, any emails or anything. So I was like, and then when she did, it would be like late. Like I'd be like, okay, like the communication was awesome, now it's trash. I'm confused. Fast forward to the week before I flew out to Miami. I got an email stating that I had to pay $100 for a COVID test and then $300 for a package, a post-op package. And I'm like, is this mandatory? Like, why can't I get the COVID here, where I'm from? And they was like, no, according to the CDC of Florida, basically you have to, if you get surgery in Florida, you have to get a COVID test the day of the surgery. And I'm like, okay, didn't know that, whatever. Okay, I was like, what about this post-op package thing? Oh, well, it's required. I'm like, okay. So I didn't plan, I mean, I had money for it, but I just didn't plan on spending that much money on all that. Why didn't you guys let me know that from jump? Whatever. So I flew out Friday to Miami, and that Saturday was my pre-op because they're closed Sunday, and my surgery day was Monday. So in order for you to get your pre-op, you have to come Saturday. So, okay, put it out. Yeah, when we pulled up to this place, I'm going to insert a photo on one of these sides right here. I'm going to insert a photo of what this place looked like when we pulled up. I went with my friend, by the way. I didn't go by myself. I went with my friend. And I'm like, where's the place at? Like, I'm looking around. I seen a little sign that says cosmetic surgery. And I'm like, maybe it's inside? It looked like a clinic, but it was like around a strip mall. Like there was a Walmart across the street, a Ross right around the corner. It was a Dunkin' Donuts right in front of the place. Like it just looked like, I'm like, okay, maybe this is where the pre-op and post-op location is. This is probably not where I'm going to get my surgery done. So I thought. So pulled up, we got out the car, we go inside. Yeah, when I say first impression is everything, first impression is everything. When we got inside, there were girls. One was on the floor, on her knees, bending over in a chair. Another one was bent over in a chair, but not sitting on her butt. I'm like, okay, these girls must be here because they got a BBL. And it looked so disgusting. Like, blood. It just, when I said they scarred me from wanting a BBL, they scarred me. I might still get it, but still, they scarred me. Like, oh my God. So I had to fill out all these forms, paperwork, consent forms, stuff like that. And it was a thick ass packet I had to fill out. And I'm like, yo, I'm reading through all this because I'm about to sign my life away to nobody. Like, I want to know what I'm signing. So I'm reading through all of it and making sure I'm aware of everything that's in this packet. And I was there for about 2 hours, I would say. Yeah, 2 hours. I'm going to show y'all the difference between what I pulled up to versus what they advertise on their social media. Because what they advertise on social media is what I thought I was pulling up to. And it was not what I was pulling up to. They have 2 different centers. I don't know if they was going to do renovation. I don't know if the other center was going to do renovation. That's why they had this location. I don't know, honey, because I knew they had 2 different addresses on their website, but I didn't know what the other address looked like. I only knew what one of them looked like. So I'm going to insert a clip or a photo of what they advertised versus what I pulled up to. I went inside. It looked like a fucking clinic, if I didn't see it already. And they called me back. I went back there or whatever. Mind you, before I went, I called just to make sure, like, hey, how much cash do I need to bring? Because that's another thing. They said any form of payment the day before surgery or the day of surgery has to be in the form of cash. And I'm like, that's weird. So before we went to my pre-op appointment, I called to see like how much money did I need. The girl on the phone told me I needed $200 for the post-op package and $100 for the COVID test. So altogether $300. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe it was like a misunderstanding the week before I came. Maybe it was just $300 altogether. They was breaking it down, $100 for COVID, and the rest would be the post-op package. I've been getting back room. She said, all right, it's gonna be $421 for everything. I'm like, the lady on the phone told me $300. No, it's $300 for the package and then $100 for the COVID test. I'm like, God, my fucking nerves. Like, ooh, I was so fucking irritated. I'm like, okay, so I went to the little ATM that they had inside the shop or inside the clinic, and I'm like, this is weird. Got the rest of the money out and whatever, and I paid my payment. I was like, what does this consist of? What comes with this post-op package thing that's so required? Oh, you get 2 drug tests, you get 2 surgical bras, you get a breast band, which is, I have it right here. You got a breast band that you put over to like compress your boobs down so that way it drops sooner than later. And you get compression socks. And I'm like, oh, this is $300? This is fucking crazy. So I was like, okay, whatever. So she told me to take my top off because I had to, they had to take before and after, well, before pictures, and then they would have to take after pictures after my surgery. And that was part of the consent form. I didn't really care. I mean, I could show y'all a scroll of like their social media that they don't expose your face, so it really doesn't matter. Your tattoos, if anything, will be shown, but I don't care. At this point, I came to get my boobs done because I didn't like the way they look. So hey, before and after me, please. So yeah, that's that. I was fine with that. And I had no nothing against that being exposed or anything like that. So I took my top off. She took photos or whatever. And mind you, before I came, in the email that I got, it said I would meet my doctor the day of my pre-op. That was a fucking lie. I was like, am I meeting my doctor today? She's like, no. I said, well, the email said it did. It's like, no, you're just here for your pre-op. You'll meet him the day of the surgery. I'm like, that's weird. Like, that is so fucking weird. So she takes pictures, and then I went to the restroom to do a drug test. She had to stay there the entire time. So fucking uncomfortable. Or whatever. And we came back in the room, and she pricked, like, I don't know, I never had a rapid test done for COVID, but I didn't know they took your blood. That was weird. But that's neither here or there. But I mean, after that, basically I signed more paperwork, and she told me I had to be there Monday at 9 a.m. for measuring before I went to surgery. I'm like, okay, cool. But she said also, like, your surgery will be on call, meaning we will call you an hour before your actual scheduled surgery appointment. So just stay close to your phone. I'm like, okay, whatever. Boom. So that was my pre-op. It was very brief, very to the point, but I was skeptical because I'm like, is it here? She was like, yeah, it's here at the same facility. I'm like, yeah, when I said this place looked so fucking small, it was like a size as a, but the back room included in the front part of it, it was like a size of like a bank. Like, you walk into a Chase bank, that's how big it was. It wasn't that big. It wasn't like a hospital. That's why I was like, this is so, I mean, I can't back out now. I'm already here. I paid so much money to come here. So it's like, at this point, I just got to thug it out. even though I want to just back out so fucking bad because I'm like, this shit looks so fucking crooked. And then the receptionist, they were like my age or probably even younger. And I was like, she was on her phone, they were texting. I'm like, y'all have all these people here and y'all can't just put your phone to the side or at least hide it or disguise it from being seen. Y'all just texting out in the open. I was back there in the room with her. I was filling out the paperwork. She's on her phone, texting, whatever. I'm like, mind y'all, maybe that's the phone that they was communicating with the patients with, but then again, she was putting in her, like, I don't know, it just looked sketchy as hell. So I was just like, at this point, I'm irritated because I didn't expect this place to look the way it looked, so let me just try to get the shit over with. Because I'm like, at this point, I'm overwhelmed, I'm nervous, and y'all just added more stress on top of that with this surprise ass $400 fee. So.
I love this.
Okay. And another thing, the reason why I'm holding this up because my mirror that I usually have propped up here broke in my luggage, and I'm so irritated. So if this is in the way, I'm sorry. That's the only mirror I have. My big mirror is over there. I will be buying another one from Amazon, so stay tuned. I'll spay now. So that was that. I mean, I was irritated. I was confused why my friend didn't tell me that this place looked like that. I texted her, kind of upset, because I'm like, yo, this looks sketchy. But she's like, can you blame it? How much you're paying versus what you're getting? You can't really complain too much. Apparently, this place is popular in Miami because they had a lot of followers on Instagram and they had a lot of patients there. I'm not gonna hold you. So Sunday rolls around, which is the night before or the day before the surgery. I had a little breakdown. Yeah, I was bawling. I was nervous. I didn't have nobody to talk to about the experience of how it felt. That's what was my biggest thing. How did it feel? I never had surgery done before, so I'm already going in nervous because I don't like pain. I barely even like tattoos. So, but I could tolerate a tattoo. But I didn't know what a freaking surgery would feel like. This lady at my laser hair removal place, she was like, oh, it just feels like somebody cut you. I'm like, what does that feel like? I don't know what that feels like. Like, you're freaking me out even more because I don't know what that feels like. So I'm like, elaborate. But I had a just little breakdown, call my mom, just had a panic attack because I'm telling her, like, I'm freaking out, I'm nervous. She's telling me to calm down, everything's going to be okay. And, like, I was just, like, my mind was all over the place because the surprise fee that they surprised me with, like, I was like, yo, like, this shit right here is overrated.
I wish I was both-handed, because this shit here is overrated.
So yeah, I would say make sure, in my personal opinion, make sure you ask, are there any hidden fees or are there any other fees that I need to be aware of before you make your final payment? So that way you can save up or you can make more arrangements to pay it before you go. So that way you're set in stone, there's no other hidden fees or anything like that before you go. Because that was my mistake. I didn't know anything about that. I wish my friend had told me that. I would have planned ahead for that. Because I could have ordered these from Amazon. They offer these on Amazon. This is small as hell. I'll tell you now. These are small. So my boobs look small in the monitor or in this view that you guys are looking at. It looks small. I mean, yeah, as you can see, they look small, but they're definitely more voluminous, more they look plurkier, if that's a word, than what I had before. But I'm gonna get to the sizing in a minute. But yeah, so I could order these from Amazon. This is a size 36. I have another one that's a size 38, and that one's tighter than this one. So I'm like, child, at this point, I don't know. Like I said, I could have ordered this from Amazon for way much cheaper. So I don't know. So fast forward, after I had my little breakdown the night before, the day of the surgery came. So like the lady said during my pre-op, I had to be there at 9 a.m. for my measurement. So I just slip on something, like a 2-piece little jogging suit. I slipped that on just to go do the measurement and then come back and wait for my phone call, so that way I could be up there for my appointment. So I go up there. I seen a girl that told me to come up there at 9 a.m. She said she's looking for the nurse. She'd be right with me. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm sitting. It was 9 o'clock. 9:30 rolls around. I get a phone call. It was a Miami number, so I answered it. They was like, oh, your appointment is going to be at 10:30. Can you be here by then? And I'm like, I'm already here. Oh, are you? I'm like, yeah. They told me to come. They told me on Saturday to come at 9 a.m. for measuring. Oh, okay. Got you. And she just hung up. And I'm like, that's weird. I'm like, I didn't come prepared for my surgery to be so early. I just came just to do my measuring. So I'm like, I'm so fucking confused. Like, I didn't bring my clothes or anything that I need to wear. Because they told me I had to wear loose clothing for after my surgery. Like dresses or a big t-shirt or a robe. And I went to Walmart that Saturday and that Sunday I went to Walmart and got like oversized t-shirts and dresses and stuff for after my surgery, so I wouldn't have to worry about anything too tight being on me. So I'm already in panic mode. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm like, okay, my friend could just bring it. Hopefully they allow it. She could just bring it after I wake up. And lo and behold, they told me that was okay. I'm like, cool. So I go in the back room. They call me back there. And I'm waiting to meet my doctor. Mind you, they call me back around like 10 o'clock-ish or whatever. And I'm waiting in this room, same room I had my pre-op appointment in. My doctor came in, he introduced himself, like he was very sweet. He was very like, he made me feel at ease. Like, even though like he looked like he was just all over the place, but he put me at ease. So he was like, okay, what size did you have in mind? And before I came, I had pictures of like different girl sizes that was from like a B cup-ish. Like I was a B cup-ish, but not a full B cup, if that makes sense, before my surgery. So I told him like, oh, I want like a 535cc. And he said, what's the ultimate goal you're trying to achieve? And I was like, I want a D cup. He was okay. Let's look at some of our silicones that we have here. And they were just sample silicones. It's not the same silicone that's going to put inside me. It was just in a box. And he put a surgical bra on me, and he wanted me to just put it in so I could see, like, visually what it would look like after it healed and dropped and everything. And he found a 530cc, and I'm like, this is not giving me what I thought it was going to give. I was like, you have anything bigger? So he found a 560. And I put that in there. I'm like, okay, that's good. Because I'm like, I don't want it too big, y'all. I don't want it too big, y'all, or I didn't want it too small either. Because finding clothes would have been all hell to find. And I don't want to make it any more struggle to find more clothes. And on top of that, my breast is still going to grow from my hormones. So I was like, I don't want them too big. And plus, these only last about 10 years before I had to get new implants, so I can always go bigger later on. So I'm like, okay, I didn't want a C cup because I've seen girls with C cups, and I'm like, that's just too little for me. Like for my body type, I needed something bigger that was going to shape my body. And ever since I got these size, it just my body just looks slimmer to my waist. Like it's proportioned. That's the one thing I did tell them. I said I want my body to be proportioned want my boobs to be proportional to my body. And when I told him 560, he was like, okay. And I told him, like, I don't want a big gap. Because I've seen a lot of girls with big gaps, and that stuff is not a turn on to me. Like, I want something that's going to bring my boobs closer together. He said, well, they're not going to be closer as you think it's going to be because your body naturally already has a big gap. He said, it's just going to have, you have to get a breast lift in order for it to bring it closer together. I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't want that. But he said, the sizes you chose will bring it a little bit closer than, closer in the way you want it to. I'm like, okay, cool, perfect, boom. That's exactly what I wanted. So before I continue, I'm gonna blend this out real quick. So after we decided what size I want to go with, he was like, okay, I'll be back in with you to go over the risk factors and everything like that. So I'm like, okay, cool. So after they left or whatever, I did another drug test with the nurse or whatever. Same process. I'm like, okay, like, I can understand why they drug test people, just to make sure that you're not doing anything the night before that's going to risk your death or risk your death, my dumbass, who risk your life in their hands. So I can understand why they do that. So I'm like, okay, let's just get this process over with. Did that. So she told me to take off my clothes after we got done with the drug test, and she told me to put the this little robe thing on, and then I put a sheet over it because I had to wear it with my back open, and I put a cover over me. Put a bonnet on, these little surgical socks things on, whatever. And she said, wait here, we'll be in to get you when it's your time to go back. I'm like, okay, cool. Y'all, when I tell y'all I was back there for a good minute, I thought they forgot about me because I was falling asleep and everything. And this lady came in, she was like, oh, we're gonna move you to a different area. I'm like, okay, cool. They moved me to a different area. These other ladies came in for their pre-op appointment. I'm asking them, like, hey, they were like, well, first of all, they was like, oh, were you here for your appointment? I was like, yeah, like, I didn't know my surgery was going to be at the same place, but apparently it is. Whatever. And we chit-chatted, whatever. I was like, what time is it? Yeah, they told me it was like 1:02. I'm like, I got here at 9. And it's 2 o'clock. My appointment was supposed to be at 10. I was over it at this point. I'm like, yo, this is so unprofessional. Like, I've been sitting back here all this time with no phone because I had to give all my stuff to my friend because they wasn't responsible for anything that comes up lost. And I'm like, I didn't have my phone or nothing. So I'm just looking at a wall, falling asleep, waiting for this surgery to be just over with. I'm already nervous. So I'm like, at this point, like, can I just go ahead and get this shit over with? Because at this point, I want to be out of this facility. Like, I'm so fucking irritated. But they ended up cheering me up. They was hyped about their surgery or whatever. And it made me feel comfortable. Because I'm like, yo, like, I'm nervous. And this other girl came out of the room. She was like, wait, what time did y'all say? And she was like, yo, like, I've been here since 10. I'm like, who's your doctor? She had the same doctor I had. But she was getting a BBL lipo 360. And I was getting a breast augmentation. So I'm like, oh, Lord. So you probably going to do yours before mine. Because yours is going to take a little bit longer than mine will. And I'm like, Lord behold, she did go before me. They moved me into the room that she was in. And he finally came in hours later. It was about 3-ish or 4-ish before he came in and actually marked me up Told me about the risk factors and stuff like that. Got silicone gel, if y'all didn't know. Silicone gel size 560 cc, depending on what boob size you're at now. Mine is a D cup right now. Like I said, it doesn't look good because this bra is too tight. But if I unloosen it up, this will like expand a little bit. But whatever. Took me in the back room. After they marked me up, the anesthesiologist came in. He said, "Have you ever been on anesthesia?" I was like, "No, this is my first time." He was like, "Okay, great. Follow me." And I'm like, what the fuck? Last thing I can remember, they put the IV in my arm, or whatever it's called, in my arm. I really didn't feel anything go inside me. Like people said, like you'll feel like cool liquid going inside you. I mean, I kind of felt it, kind of didn't. And the next thing I know, like he looked at me and was like, "I see you later." I'm like, okay, this is kind of weird. Because they had me strapped up like this. So I'm already in like, WTF, like what's going on? But woke up, I was so freaking cold. So freaking cold. And like, I just felt the pressure instantly. It did not hurt at all, y'all. After the pain meds they gave me, the antibiotics, I wasn't in pain. I was cold when I woke up. They said that's normal. The nurse had this little heater underneath the blanket, and she had me warm up. I was so hungry because the night before, I think at midnight you can't eat anything 8 hours before your surgery, which I mean that goes for any surgery basically. But that happened. Left. I was hungry. The nurse told my friend that I won't be able to eat nothing because I won't be craving any food besides liquids. Girl, I got in my car, demolished those freaking hash browns. I was starving. I didn't throw up or anything, thank God. But I was just hungry. Like, I was so freaking hungry. I got to the hotel room, ate a little snack or whatever, and laid down. But the pressure, yeah, it felt like 2 melons was sitting on your, like, sitting on top of you. Or, like, 2, like, dumbbells or barbells are just on top of you, and you're trying to lift up, and you can't. And there's so much pressure. I mean, it was tolerable depending on like your pain tolerance. I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, the pain, as far as the pressure goes, was I would say 6 or a 7. Yeah, 6 or a 7. Not even gonna hold you. I was like, yeah, this pain, this pressure is a B word. If I didn't know, I did go under the muscle, so they did make an incision underneath my boob, so I didn't go through the nipple. And I kind of like that I didn't go through the nipple, because a lot of people I heard don't get filling back in the nipple area, and I'm like, and some people's nipples look, it just, you got to see somebody's boobs in order to see where I'm coming from. They go through the nipple versus underneath. And plus, the healing process is quicker, less scarring. I mean, after they drop, obviously you won't be able to see the scar versus the nipple area. I don't know. I didn't go into detail. I just knew about under the muscle, what benefits of that, or whatever. But I mean, other than that, I mean, the pain, it hurted, but I mean, it didn't hurt to where I cried. I didn't cry at all. It didn't happen till like the 2nd or 3rd night where my throat, like they put something down my throat to help like keep me breathing throughout the process, which is common. But it's like after the fact, like my throat hurt so bad. If anything, that was a fucking 9 or a fucking 10. Like that, it hurt to swallow. It hurted so bad. My breast felt fine. My throat hurt like so bad. Like I could not talk. I could not eat anything. When I swallowed, it hurted so bad. And I'm like, okay, I just got some honey, ginger, and lemon tea, and that helped me get like better like within 2 days. But it hurted so bad. Like the more liquids you guys drink or ice cream or whatever, the better it will like heal. And make sure you stay on top of your antibiotics and also your pain medicine too. But he's told me that the quicker you stop taking the pain medicine, the quicker you will heal. And I think I stopped taking the pain medicines around like the 3rd day. Yeah, the 3rd day when my throat started feeling a little bit better. After drinking like tea and honey and stuff like that, it started feeling better. The 4th day, yeah, I was like, I could dress myself. I could do pretty much anything, but besides lifting a lot of weight. I could definitely say that. It was a little bit tender, a little bit numb still in some areas. So I'm like, still to this day, it's still numb underneath my boob. but I still massage them. I push them together, push them down, stuff like that. And the breastband I have, I strap it at night to help push it down a little bit more. But the more you massage, the better the healing will be, the more it will like drop sooner. It takes about, he said, like 6 to 8 weeks before it drops fully, and about 6 months before everything is completely back to normal. And because he said we're going under the muscle, you're going into the nerves, and some of the nerves going to take a little bit more time to like come back to his normal state. Come back to his normal state. So I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. I mean, he's the doctor, he's the professional, so he knows what he's doing. So, but yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, would I do it all over again? I would. Just with a different facility. I'm not gonna hold you. But yeah, the pain, I mean, I would say, yeah, like the throat hurt worse than the breast itself. Like I said, the pressure itself felt like, just imagine like you're a brother or like somebody of a male figure in your family just pressing their hands with all their weight on you, or somebody just sitting on top of you. And that's what it feels like. It was so hard to like raise up or anything like that. I was just like, at this point, honey, I'm about to just stay in the bed. Because you can't lay on your, I lay on my stomach when I go to sleep usually. I can't lay on my stomach until after it heals. So I'm like, okay, this is so uncomfortable sleeping like up at like, he said a 45-degree angle. So I had a whole bunch of pillows to prop me up and stuff like that. It was so uncomfortable. I didn't get no sleep at all for the first 3 days. Pretty much really the first week after the surgery, to be honest. But I mean, eventually was able to like function normally. I went walking around, walking too. Walking does ease a lot of the pain. So they told me just walk around every hour if I could, so that way I don't get blood clots or anything like that, no complications or anything like that. So I was walking. Me and my friend, we walked around the area of the hotel. We went to eat and stuff like that. Like, it wasn't anything traumatic to where I couldn't do anything. When I got back home, I was able to drive, stuff like that. I mean, it was kind of hard to drive. Like, I had to, like, basically, I couldn't lift my arm too much, but now I can lift it a lot. I mean, I can't, like, lift anything heavy. I can't overlift anything heavy because I want my, he said he want my incisions to, like, spread more, or he didn't want my incisions not to heal properly. Because eventually it's going to like get smaller and smaller. But if I add more like pressure onto it, like it's not going to heal properly. But let me finish my makeup. I'm going to come back, wrap up the video, say my final thoughts about everything, and yeah, so I'll be back. Alright, yeah, I'm back. But this is the final look or whatever. The extra, whatever, not too much, you know. But no, my last opinion about everything, I like what I have so far, no shade. I don't know my final decision about my overall opinion about them until after they drop. They're still sitting up here. They should drop within a month, 6 to 8 weeks, he said. But when I will come back and do a post-op 1 month, well, I will come back and do a 1 month post-op video so I can see like the final results, my final opinion about everything. Once everything is healed, I don't have to wear the surgical bra anymore, stuff like that. So that way I could wear like a bikini top, so that way you guys could see more of like definition-wise, like what my results are giving. But from looking at it, I'm gonna post a before and after picture right here, so you guys can see. Obviously, I'm gonna mark out the nipples so that way I don't get banned or anything like that. But there's a significant difference. One boob was bigger than the other. He said that's every girl goes through that, even after you have plastic surgery. Same size silicone is in each boob. At first, he was thinking about putting one smaller one in my boobs than the other to balance them out. But he said because of how big I chose, it should make them evenly drop. But naturally, everyone's boob is one bigger than the other. It just may not look it from looking at it, but when you really get into details, there is a size difference. But like I said, even when I take the bra off, I don't see no size difference. They both look the same. Both areolas look the same. Like, I mean, if you guys have any comments, any concerns, any questions, leave it down below. Like I said, I'm going to do a 1-month post-op update later on this month. Yeah, later on this month. Once it heals a little bit more. I mean, other than that, do your research. Like I said at the beginning, do your research. Decide who you want to go to. Watch reviews on YouTube. Watch reviews on read reviews on Yelp. Find them on social media. Looking at comments. Like look. Because even though I got recommendations from my friend, I still did my research on the doctor and stuff like that. I didn't do Yelp reviews. I should have did Yelp reviews. Also, Facebook. Usually there's Facebook surgical groups. I found mine. A lot of them got BBL, so not a lot of them got breast augmentation. So I really couldn't find anybody that got breast augmentation by this man, besides my friend and a couple other people I've seen on the social media page. But I don't know. I mean, it is what it is, to be honest. Y'all got me here, so I would recommend the doctor itself, but I would not recommend the place, if that makes sense. They said on the website, they went through, on their social media page, they said they went through renovations, stuff like that. I don't know how true that is, but like I said, the place I was showed up to versus the place that advertised was 2 different places, and I felt sketchy about that, but whatever. But I'm glad to be back. I'm healed somewhat, but I'm back. Schedule program, video once a week. Hopefully I can stay in this routine or whatever. I'm gonna post a video right after this. I don't know when I'm gonna record it, I don't know. But this whole gay agenda that's been going on social media, I want to touch bases on that because that shit sounds dumb as fuck. Like, gay agenda, the fuck? Like, there was not a straight agenda. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Seileta KB. You won't be disappointed. Hopefully I don't disappoint you while you're here. While you're here, why don't you like, comment, and subscribe, and click the notification bell so that you guys are notified any and every time I'm online, upload, or whatever. Spam the comment section with melons or something. If you watch the whole entire video, put like a melon or a watermelon or something. Symbolize my boobies. But other than that, I'll see you guys in my next video. I'm not gonna ramble on too much, but bye.